Wayne, Chrebet, and the Underdog Jets podcast is back on this trade day, Thursday, February 26th, the NFL Combine. Wayne, we heard from Arvell Reese. That dude, if you ask me today, he's going to be the Jets pick, but we'll see. Jets pick at number 2. That dude he's an LT type mind. Like, he's just nasty. He wants to hurt guys. Caleb Downs, he's got an Ed Reed type mind. He's that special. But we start with a trade. Jermaine Johnson to Tennessee, Robert Saleh, who loves him in his scheme. And in return, the Jets get back. I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong, but that's okay. Devontae Sweat, big 360-pound, one-tech type 3-4 nose tackle. What do you think?
Yeah. First glance, every Jet fan is gonna say, it's a player for player.
Yes.
Trade. I know you said on trade day. It's only one trade. But I know Jermaine Johnson's a fan favorite. He's young. He's had some great years. But bottom line is this, Jets fans. One, the contract he was going to be looking for was going to be pretty big. Even coming off an injury last year, was a big step down. Coming back from the Achilles, and he'd be the first one to admit that he just wasn't himself. And you can see that.
You need a
3,
year.
he kind of wanted it out. And rather than him just leaving, I know he wants to, be with Saleh and his former lineman coach. But the guy we got, he's a big boy, 6'2", 360. Run stopper. He's a high pick. Certainly serves a purpose, but he signed for a couple of years and less than $2 million salary cap hit. So, I love Jermaine. Met him a couple of times. Great kid. Just for the defense we're going to run, and getting a guy that no one's really heard of. He's a role guy, but this just opens the door to do, without a doubt now, 100% we're getting the best edge rusher to replace him in the draft. So we got younger, healthier, probably better, and extra D lineman in the process.
Yeah, personally, I mean, you said it right there. I love the trade. I really do. I don't think you could hammer the Jets here. Here's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Jermaine Johnson was traded. Oh, man, they traded Jermaine. They sold low because, the guy has an Achilles. He needs at least a year to rehab it, to come back. Like, That's the way it is. So if you're trading Jermaine, people would ask, would you trade Jermaine? Not right now, because you'd be selling low. However, Robert Saleh might be the guy where you could get away with it, because he'll give you equal value in return. Because Saleh, he doesn't run any 3-4 stuff, no nose tackle, zero tech, lining up right over the center. Sweat doesn't fit that. Sweat is that dude. I mean, he could play other spots too, but he's that 3-4 run stuffer. I know the Jets have Briggs. He's a 315-pounder. Harrison, another 300-pounder. They're going to need some lighter D tackles, and they'll get them. But it's clear that Glenn is going a certain way. I think, and I know Jets fans love the 3-4 with Rex back in your day with Bill, Wayne.
Yeah.
Fans love 3-4. They're going to run both, but just take it for what it is. Sweat fills that need. 2-gap, run stuffing, big dude in the middle.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at it. He's 24.
Yep.
Like the same as Johnson, but he was, the 40th, 30th, 38th
overall
in the draft. So
almost a first rounder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
This is only 2 years ago, and he's had success. Again, I'm going to go back to it. Fans, Jermaine, he's a stud, and you're like, oh, they got rid of Jermaine, they got rid of Sauce, they got rid of Quinnen. A lot of it's based on the compensation. We sold high on those guys. I know one we gave $100 million to in Sauce, but he went to the Colts and he wasn't a game changer. He got hurt. They went 1-6 in Indy. He was 1-6 with the Jets. I thought he was a little overrated at times. Certainly a phenom, but he wasn't a top 3 guy, I think, after his rookie year. Quinnen, he'll always have a place in Jet fans' heart. But again, he wasn't going to be happy without Sauce there, and he was due a lot of money. And then Jermaine, like I said, it's coming off an injury like an Achilles. For what he needs in edge rusher to come around that corner is tough. Sweat, like I said, it's just another guy that Muji and AG have brought in, going to play a role. You could talk about the other D lineman we brought in. We started this process early last year as far as moving guys and bringing guys in, not so we could see what they are in training camp, to see what they are the second half of last year, the end of last year, so we get some answers. And I think they've got that. We've done that. I think we got our number 2 and maybe 3 receivers that we would have been looking for in the draft with Mechie and Mitchell. So Muji's doing a good job, and it's not just me saying that biased, but all the pundits, all the so-called professionals feel the same way. They're doing a tremendous job. It's just the name value, the name recognition isn't there with the guys they're bringing in like
Yeah.
yet, but it's going to be there.
Yeah, and it's always it always feels pointing to some fans because they know Jermaine. They know him.
Yeah,
You don't know Sweat, and you know how the draft works for D tackles. If you're a versatile D tackle who could rush the passer, you're gonna go higher in the draft. If you're a
yeah,
run stuffer, you're gonna drop. So I don't know enough about Sweat yet, but I view him as probably underrated in that regard. Early second round pick.
yeah,
And to your point too, Jermaine was going to be a free agent. Sweat was drafted 2 years later, so he's got 2 more years left on his deal. Well, let me check it out. At least two, 26, 27. Okay, he signed through 27. He becomes a unrestricted free agent in 2028. So that's
yeah.
another big part of it.
So yeah, so I'm trying to explain this the best way. Um, Not to like talk people off the ledge.
Mhm.
Just same old, same old. Um, the year was record wise, yeah. I mean, it's just there's no gripes with that. Or, everybody who
Yep.
feels the same way is perfect reason for it. Not making the playoffs again. But like I said, just based on this move financially, health wise, age wise, but who were the other guys we brought in to replace Quinnen? And they
Mhm.
panned out last year, didn't they? Harrison,
Harrison and Briggs.
yeah. Now Harrison and Briggs, for Jet fans that don't really pay attention to the guys in trenches there.
The
Just
big
explain a little
fellows.
bit about Briggs and you know Phillips, how they've come in and the job they did the second half of the year, because I don't think people realize those two moves played out since Muji took those.
Yeah, it's like think of Mike DeVito under Rex Ryan.
Yeah,
He think of Mike DeVito, Pua. Everyone knows Pua because
yeah,
he backed up Chris Jenkins when he got hurt.
yeah,
Ferguson, how good was Ferguson for you guys
yeah,
in the interior on defense?
yeah,
The Parcells era.
yeah.
I mean,
Jason
Jets fans knew
Ferguson.
these
Yeah,
guys, but they do the dirty work. Like
yeah,
and if you're looking at the screen right now, this is kind of how you should think about it. 4-3 or 3-4 defense, a multiple hybrid D. That's what you want to do as a DC. Seattle did it. I had watched a lot of Detroit tape. Glenn did it with Detroit, more 4-3, but depending on the personnel, getting Sweat in here, and they're really heavy right now. Like you don't want to put Sweat, Briggs, and Phillips out there on the same field all the time because those are 300 pounders. You'll need a versatile guy, but this gives you an idea.
yeah.
Sweat could play traditional nose tackle and be a two gapper, and they haven't had that in a long time.
See, the thing about this is, and I know people listen to it don't watch it, but what made these defenses so good? The Ravens back in the day.
Oh dear, yeah.
You don't realize that I knew the guys, with Sam
Siragusa,
Adams and Saragusa and these guys up front. That's why, you know, Ray Lewis and so all these guys, never got blocked because they held guys up.
yep.
The Tampa Bay days, making Derek Brooks and they can make all these plays. It's the guys we have up front that can keep the linemen from getting to the next level. But looking at this is, like you said, you can't have three monsters out there. But defenses these
You
days
cannot
don't
time.
have 11 starters. They have like, I don't know, 18. You know what I mean?
Yes,
They're rolling in
yes.
ends, they're rolling in linemen. There's different packages. So yeah, like I said, name recognition isn't there, but getting the draft picks for Sauce, getting the draft picks for Quinnen, this is the payoff. This is the
Yes.
lottery tickets they bought. And like I said, this guy fills a spot where we might
Big
not have
spot.
to draft. Mitchell and Mechie is another spot we don't have to draft. Maybe not in the top 3 rounds.
Yep.
So all these moves make sense if you look at it on paper, but in your mind, if you can't like, all you're going to think is Jermaine Johnson. Why? Why would you? Well, it's not the same reason with Brees. Brees is a different animal.
Hmm.
Not, they did say they're going to transition or franchise Brees. So that's a
Yeah.
different kind of player. That's the kind of player you don't want to get. Not saying Jermaine's, so replaceable, but injured guy coming wanting a contract, um, kind of is maybe
And
not
changing
personality
defensive
wise or locker
schemes
room
too.
wise, but just talent wise, yes, at this point.
Yeah, and changing defensive schemes too. Like they brought in Carl Dunbar, defensive line coach, who he's coached 4-3. Like actually, it's funny with him. The first half of his career was 4-3. Since he came to here in 2013 or 2014 with Rex, he's been 3-4. He went to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh afterwards. So,
yeah,
it's if you look at the screen and you'll see Arvell Reese and Alex Anzalone on these images, you didn't miss anything. They're not on the team yet, but I'm just projecting Reese to be the number 2 pick and Anzalone for them to get him in free agency, 31-year-old Detroit linebacker who
yeah,
is going to be a big time guy. Like he'll have the green dot, he'll have the mic in his helmet. I kind of like what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of versatility, and Reese really, I think this move more so than anything else signals that okay, Reese is the projected guy at 2.
yeah. See, like I said, if you're looking at this, 2 years ago, you're thinking, who's Will McDonald? Why would you bring him in if we have Jermaine and
Right.
the dude that didn't never play that went to the Eagles?
Yep.
And then
Hassan
you had
Reddick.
Huff. Why would we go after Will McDonald? Well, now you know why. Why would we get rid of Michael Carter the second and you know the other corner over Sosa? Well, Brownlee, you didn't know who he was. Sherwood, you didn't know who he was. You know what I mean? Now you know McDonald, you know Sherwood, you know Brownlee. These are the pickups that, like I said, didn't have name recognition, but now you know. Now you're buying their jersey. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's the same thing. Now, looking at the second pick in the draft, obviously it's going
Yep.
to be an edge rusher. We're not going to try to get the first pick. In no way trying to get Windows or whoever.
What
But
about? Well, hold on. What about Caleb Downs,
well, that's
safety?
yeah, that's the thing as far as the edge rushers. Now they talk about Bailey a lot
Yes,
there. You've always assumed it was Reese.
I do.
Now I'm seeing Bailey. I'm seeing Bain from Iowa.
Hmm.
Falk from Auburn. Why do you think it's Reese? I mean,
So,
he's yeah, he's a
Bane,
real deal.
Reese, when you watch him on tape, he's like 243, 244. Here's what scares some people off. He played more off-ball linebacker in college. He played a lot of edge still, but that positionless thing kind of scares people off. He's just a freak, and his
Yeah,
mentality is never stop. He
right.
wants to hit people. He wants to hurt them. He's a throwback in that regard. And when you hear him talk, he talked at the combine. He avoided every single potential for a soundbite. Yeah, like I think it was Chris Sims and Florio asked him, and they tried to get him a couple times. They asked him, "Who's the quarterback you want to sack most when you get to the NFL?" And he avoided it. He didn't give a name. Like
Right.
that's an example. I just think
That's who you're
he
talking about? You're talking about
Reese,
Reese, yeah.
yeah, he can shut down one side of the field as an edge and
Yeah.
play in space. And tackle running backs, tackle receivers one on one. That's how athletic he is, and he could rush the passer. Bane's too slow for the edge, and he clocked in at like 264. He's even lighter than people thought.
Yeah.
Bailey's is the one. Bailey's the one that maybe could sneak in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen, uh, if there's that many, say 3 of these guys, Reese, Bain, and Bailey, at the very least, maybe even, that big kid from Auburn Falk, 6'6",
Yeah,
285,
Keldrick.
can play any spot. Say 3 or 4 of these guys have tremendous combines. I mean, you
Yes.
could even slide back if we're getting an edge rusher. you could even slide back. There's just so many options right now to do anything
Yep.
except quarterback.
Except quarterback,
It's
yes.
the least amount of options we have as far as drafting. Who's somebody has us taking Simpson from Alabama at 16.
Yeah, I don't see it
I'd
happening.
rather take the downs. You know what I mean? But
Oh my god, in
so
a
what?
heartbeat.
For listen, when I say for the Jet fans, it's just for football fans, for Jet fans. Whether you're a diehard, you live and die with the Jets, or you're a seasonal fan, or you tune in kind of for the combine and the draft.
Mhm.
Just trying to explain to people, what they're doing is as far as options at quarterback. Yeah, even if you get a high ranked quarterback, if you can sit him behind someone, that's massive. I know Tyrod Taylor is still a name, but there's guys out there. I just want to run it by these people. Kirk Cousins has been a name. McCall Murray was a name. Kirk Cousins has been a big name. I think he still has a lot left in him. I
Mhm.
think he'd be a good fit. And you can't look at Kirk Cousins and the wildness, wearing the chain and stuff like that. You just got to look at what he could do for a young quarterback. Serviceable, more than serviceable, could win you a
Yeah.
playoff game or two. Um, but what we're looking to do is stack up on this defense to get newer, fresher. And these guys coming out these years, like he said, they're versatile. They could play anywhere. So I think that's what AG are trying to do at this point. And it starts with these first couple picks in the draft.
Agreed. And by the way, if I had to guess right now, who's gonna be the starting quarterback week 1? I think it's gonna be Kirk Cousins, if I had to guess.
Look at it. This is interesting.
Your
So
underwear Olympics, you ready for the underwear Olympics, Wayne?
yeah, the page that Robbie's showing says top DL prospect Ruben Bain Jr., who I just walked out, arm length measured at under 31 inches at combine. You know who
Mhm.
else's arm inches length were measured under? Aaron Donald. That's why people
Yeah.
didn't want to draft him. Aaron Donald's arms were too short. If you look at him, yeah, they're freaking monstrous. They're so like muscular that you probably couldn't like straighten. I mean, the guy was most fit guy ever.
Yep.
Did you ever read that thing? I don't know if it was Make a Wish Foundation or whatever it was. He had someone that
Who,
his
Donald?
wish was to work out with Aaron Donald, and I think like he didn't, not that he didn't get it, but he went through such a tough workout that like the kid that was like they were like throwing up, like it was so like you
Oh,
see the
really?
energy, this and that. Not the point of the story, but
Yeah.
yeah, Aaron Donald's arms were too short. This quarterback can't play. Lamar Jackson's hands were too small.
Were they
So
Mark
he can't
Jackson?
grip the ball in the cold weather in the Northeast. Don't listen to that stuff, man. It doesn't matter.
Wait, you're
Um,
talking about Mark Jackson from Denver? That Mark Jackson? The receiver?
what are you talking about?
I thought you said Mark Jackson.
No. No, I'm not talking about a receiver. I'm just saying how. Oh, Lamar Jackson. I said.
Oh, Lamar. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Gotcha,
like
gotcha,
they
gotcha.
just said Lamar Jackson's hands were too small for a quarterback.
Yes.
Listen, this is like the first
Dante
little
Culpepper, too. Yeah.
mark they put on this lineman who's gonna be a top 5 pick because his arms are too short. Can't do
Right.
nothing about that. You can work, you can lift all you want. They're not gonna stretch out, but I don't understand why they do these to these kids coming out. They're talented in their film shows. What's it
Yes.
matter the size of their?
Yeah, I'm not worried too much about Bane's arms. It's more the speed for his size on the
Yeah, no,
edge.
I get
Yeah.
that, but listen, you click on ESPN NFL Combine, and the first thing that comes up is this how short this guy's arms are. Come on,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly. Now
This
look at
this this
this.
is this is this is insanity to me that that's even like a topic. That could
A
be
headline.
something maybe a 9 or 10 down the line. I'm deciding between this player, that player.
Yeah.
This one's a little more fit, he's more for the, not because length of the arms, man. That shit drives me nuts.
I hear you 100%. Now, Kuiper's last mock draft is just I think he's just playing with everyone. He goes Fernando Mendoza, number 1 to the Raiders, Caleb Downs, number 2 to the Jets. Now, listen, safety's my position. It's my favorite position to watch. He's my favorite player in the draft, Caleb Downs. But I just don't see it. I still think they're going to go Reese. However, Kuiper has Downs 2 and Bailey 3. Reese dropping to 4 to Tennessee, which is shocking to me.
You know what's funny about Mel Kiper?
One thing.
You know what's funny about him and how long he's been doing this?
Yeah.
That we decided to get into the mock draft,
Yeah.
and the first person you said is Mel Kiper.
Yes.
Whenever you want to know a mock draft, you think of Mel Kiper for since I played for decades.
Yep. He was
You
there in the
hear
'80s when it started.
like he's if you go back and look at some of his takes, they're just
It's
I
crazy.
would love to go back at the top 10, top 50 things that he said that is just like, people saying he's the next, this person or that person. But he's so right because he picks 7 rounds every year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And this and that. Well, it's just amazing how that guy has carved out an niche for himself. If you look what he was back then, he kind of just had like a little thing he put out.
He was in the
But
right place, right time, dude. When the draft got to ESPN, that '83
yeah,
draft with the quarterbacks,
yeah.
he was
Um,
there. And
let's
I've
look
always
at
said this
someone else.
too.
Let's look at a different list.
Okay, and I've always said this too. Like the players, you guys all get your stats tracked.
Yeah,
Long time coming for the media to have the same thing. Like
yeah,
shooting percentage. How many
yeah,
how many of your takes have hit?
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
AI. How come we
Let,
can't get that done? You
not
know?
for not against. Let's just look at a different left than Kuiper's list.
All right. And he had Peter Woods at number 16, D tackle, which I'd be stunned now because they have plenty of D tackles. Is Woods, if Woods is athletic enough, then okay, I get it because you added a fourth. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's find another one here. Here we go. Mock draft. Yahoo. Charles McDonald and Nate Tice. Charles McDonald, old buddy. He was on the Jets beat, New York Daily News before Antoine
Okay.
took it over. So
Just
let's
because I'm
look at
curious, not that it makes it wrong or right. Who do they have us taking at number 2 here?
Mendoza 1, Bain 2,
Yeah. And
Maui
then if you
Goa
go to
3. Yeah, I just
another
don't
guy, it's
see
gonna have
this.
someone else.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I just don't see it.
Pick
I
5 of the top 5 draft pundits. All know what they're talking about, this and that. And you could have at least 4 out of 5 different people that we're going to take it 2 and 16.
yeah,
This one has Giants taking Caleb at 5, and Reese at 4. And now we got a lineman at
Maui
3.
Goa. Yep.
My point is, um, people get excited about, well, why would the Jets pick this person? And already start blaming Muji and AG when it's not March yet.
We're so
No, we're
early.
not drafting them. There's 10 different opinions, and somehow because these professionals said that we're going to draft them, they're blaming Aaron already, saying, "Well, if Aaron Glenn does this because they said that, then he's foolish."
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
something 2 months away, and not something Aaron or Muji said, but the fact that someone's saying it, they're already disagreeing with Aaron and Muji if they listen to this. This isn't
It's
like these people got this information from Muji and AG and Jets
correct.
personnel. This is their opinion. In the end, Muji and Aaron are going to do it based on different traits, how they fit the system, how they fit the organization. So when you read this stuff, fans, don't look at it as gospel. Like, well, I don't like any of these guys. You know what? We might not like them either in a couple days, a week, a
Yes.
month. So yeah, just um, I'm not saying we're not giving anything up, but just take this with a grain of salt on what these people are saying.
Exactly what I was gonna say. You stole it from me. Take it with a grain of salt because it's the social media world, man. It's the social media age. Media, news, see, especially sports, it's not about who's right and who's most knowledgeable. It's about who is loudest and who is quickest.
Yeah,
And it's the worst model ever. And I can't wait until things change that. JetX is doing it the best we can to
yeah.
get the quality going.
Yeah, listen to us. Listen, legit. Like my mom could read one of these projections after the combine and be like, if the Jets draft this guy, I'm gonna be so mad. and she's already mad. Like, you know what I mean?
Sh
Like, we haven't even
Really?
decided to draft this guy or this position or move the draft. But even my mom would be like, "Why would they draft this guy?" I'm like, "Don't know.
Headlines.
Like,
I
why
it's
why are
about the
you getting
title.
so excited 4 months before training camp? This could be my family."
It's about the
People
title
who
and headline, dude. My dad does the same thing,
yeah,
and
so it's not just, I'm not calling, any fans, um, anything or any,
no,
like I
no,
said,
no, no.
pendants, anything. I'm just saying how easily it is to, misguide your, your anger or this or that when something hasn't even, happened yet. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, there's a lot to it. A lot can happen. The biggest thing is, like I said, we're in a position, draft picks, draft capital, salary cap. Were any of these picks that we mentioned and anything that you could think of? Because I know those guys out there, football fans and Jet fans, that know about guys who might not even be on the radar that can move up the draft boards, and they'll be right.
Yep.
So, like I said, Muji and AG have put us in a position with all those things, all those factors to have options. In the past, we didn't have that. And like I said, the big thing is, what do we use to get that quarterback? Um, from what I see, now we're not trading first round picks to go up number one
Mm,
or
definitely
two
not.
or whatever for when if Dante Moore. Um, and
Mhm,
now Kirk Cousins is going to be released in March,
mhm.
so we don't have to give up draft picks for him. So this might have kind of fell in our laps a lot easier than we thought it could.
Y Yes, and on
A
top
couple
of that,
months ago.
Wayne, a
Yeah,
day 2 quarterback. Like, I think one of the smartest things personnel guys do is pick the right moment to do the right thing.
yeah,
Like, this draft might be the perfect moment to take a chance on a day 2 or day 3 quarterback. Does that make sense?
yep,
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think that's might be the way to go.
Listen, people could come out. People are going to watch this, and we're getting great feedback. Trying to answer the questions, and I never say like, subscribe, do all that stuff.
I gotta set
Appreciate
up the mailbag too. I didn't do it last time. Damn it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you might look back and say it makes sense today that, we're talking about very, very, very young, talented, maybe generational pass rushers. The fact that now we're keeping our picks,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden Kirk Cousins could be something that's on the street. There might be a little war for him. You have to pay, a premium because there's no one else going to be out there with that much talent and experience. But like I said, things are changing every day, every week of who's going to be available. All of a sudden, wow, we didn't know this guy was available. We should have went after him.
Mhm.
Lots of things happen fast.
Yep.
Um, Not like so much in January and like at February, but just starting now at the combine. This is when eyebrows go up, and sometimes, like you said, guys you would think are this and that, they might go around a 4.8 or 4.7, and all of a sudden they slide 10 slots.
Yep.
And you're going to get a
100%.
workout warrior that's going to run a 4.3 at 250 pounds, and he is top 10 pick no matter what. So
100%. 100%.
yeah,
Also,
yeah.
listen, don't take this as gospel, but I'm hearing, not even I'm hearing, but a bunch of people have heard down at the combine that Stroud, Houston, even Lamar, Baltimore, like to your point, Wayne, these situations are never stone cold locks. So
I rather not discuss it, and then
be
we pull
surprised when it
something out of
happens.
it. We pull something out of our butt, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, a Lamar, not a Kyler, a Lamar or a CJ
Stroud.
Stroud, someone that's not happy. Harbaugh left. This, that, this. Sometimes the owner falls out of favor. Sometimes I rather not hear whispers because
Try to wish it to truth, right?
yeah, don't. Sometimes you want to put it out in the universe. Sometimes the best things
My
that
brother yells
happen.
at me. See, my brother yells at me all the time watching the Rangers. "Don't say that. It's gonna
Nah,
happen." And I think,
listen.
"I gotta say it. If I don't say it, then it will happen. What the hell? Of course I gotta say it."
some of the best things that happen in sports are the things that are unexpected. When
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
whispers and rumors and like 2, 3 more teams catch on or this and
Like
that,
USA winning gold in hockey. How about that?
that's
That's
awesome. And
yeah.
the man and the woman. But like I said, these moves, like the sauce thing, no one
No
really
one
saw
saw it
that
coming.
come. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like we got 2 picks, and now all of a sudden it looks pretty damn good to get 2 first round picks for him.
Really good deal.
Yeah. But yeah, USA. I watched. If I didn't watch, I kind of like paid attention on the computer. Yeah, beat Canada in both finals. I saw. I didn't realize that people follow stories that Jack Hughes, who won the game,
Mhm.
got his teeth knocked out, came back. Hockey players are a different breed. Football
Dude.
players are a different breed too, but there's a list of the top toughest sports to play.
Mhm.
And let's just say we're two of the top three.
Rugby, throw rugby in there, and there you got your trio. That's
Yeah,
the trio.
I didn't realize. I think I read that Hughes's mom was the goalie for the U.S.
Get out of
women's
here.
team when they won back decades
Back in
ago.
Cami Granado days, remember Cami Granado? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
dude, his parents have to be athletes. With him and his brother on the team together, that's insane.
who Quinn?
Yeah, Quinn.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, who is Ellen Hughes? Ellen Hughes is Olympic legend herself, silver '92,
Wow.
and mom to 3 NFL players. 2 of her sons, Quinn and Jack, play and won the
Yeah, they got
gold.
3rd.
She assisted the women's hockey team, and she helped in the Olympics. Wow. See,
Yeah.
this stuff like this is what people should care about. What we say in the Jet stuff and just our picks and this and that. This is real life history. This is real life, like fairy tale.
Mhm.
You go to you win silver medal in the Olympics, and then you get 2 kids that not only play in the pros, who are all stars, and then happen to win gold for their country. That's what sports are made of, man.
It's it.
Watching
That
stuff like that, that's why I love sports stories like that.
100%. Like, all you need to know is Rangers fans and Devils fans hate each other. Jack Hughes is a Devil.
Yeah,
Rangers fans love that man. Right?
yeah, yeah.
Like
Well,
that's just the way
that's
it
the
is.
great thing about the winter, summer Olympics, all that stuff is at some point you kind of like separate the logos that they play for,
Yep.
and you just see the USA, and you know you're allowed you're
Mhm.
allowed to root for a guy who's on your the moral enemy or this and that. You're
Yep.
allowed to root for him for these 4 or 5 games, and then you go back to normal. You go back to hating him.
Yep. And
uh
then the Johnny Gaudreau stuff afterwards with obviously the late Johnny Gaudreau and his brother passed away uh last year or maybe a year and a half ago.
yeah,
And he was one of the USA hockey greats of this current generation. And that may had grown men crying once they won gold, and they brought his 2 kids onto the ice for the picture, and they had his jersey.
yeah. People talk about winning Super Bowls and World Series and stuff like that. And talk to Kobe and LeBron and all those guys, and they talk about when Jordan Bird winning the gold, the dream team, and all that stuff. Um, you can't even you know, it wasn't even close
No.
as far as the 6 titles Jordan won to the gold medal, standing up there on the podium. Uh, so I can't imagine what that would be like. But yeah, so happy for the Olympic hockey teams.
Yeah, but alas, football, there are no competitors on the world stage.
Well, there is going to be flag football.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I'm not up to flag football. Like, I'm not up with the news in terms of flag football in the Olympics. That's interesting. Brazil's probably got a good team, actually. Now that I think about it,
Now everybody is. Hold on, let me look this up. It's something.
because
Um,
Brazil's getting up there in terms of
Hold on.
NFL
Listen,
football.
flag football is set to make its official Olympic debut at the LA 2028 Summer Games. bringing a
Nice.
fast-paced, non-contact version of American football to the global stage. 5-on-5 for both men and women, which support from the NFL. Um, 20-minute half.
Yeah, 20-minute half, 70-yard field goal, including end zones. Oh, I'm sorry, 70-yard field.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
pretty
run
interesting.
within 5 yards of the end zone. This is the same shit my kid plays. This is the same shit I played 40 years ago. Here's the funny thing about it is that our our NFL guys, our like, you know, big guys want to play in it. Like the guys like and retired guys want to come play in it.
Wanna
Like
come play in the
Mahomes,
Olympics?
Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill wants to play in these guys. But then you get these
He would
guys
be the
who
greatest player of all time in
what?
flag football. Tyreek
Who?
Hill might be the greatest flag football player of all time.
Listen, I'll tell you a quick story, everybody.
Yeah.
Um, we went down to Disney Village. I guess it was right after I played, or maybe I was, to play the champion flag football men's team in the country because they had the
Mhm.
playoffs down there. So we go out there. It's me, Favre, um, Jimmy Smith, Dickerson, Aeneas Williams. There's a handful of us to go play this team. Um, so we're playing offense and defense. We have some defensive guys, and first play they go in motion, we get all messed up, and they score. We're like, all right, we're like all
Buckle down now. Yeah.
whatever. So we get the ball, and Favre goes back, slips. He's got tennis shoes on. All of a sudden, like, oh shit, we have to go change into our cleats. So yeah, there. See me
There
there?
it is. Yeah.
No, that wasn't that one. That's at the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's a different one?
Yeah.
This has to be it right here.
Nah, we didn't have Plunkett or any of those guys like that.
Oh, it wasn't 2006?
No, it was at
Oh,
the, it was this was a scrimmage. This
okay,
was
I'll
against
find it. Don't let me derail you. Do
no,
your
this
thing.
was against each other. Yeah.
Alright,
It
so you
did
went down there, they're kicking your ass, and you feel ashamed, alright?
no. So we had to throw on our cleats, man. We barely beat them. So the point is,
Yeah.
people who play flag football like seriously, like not for a living, but they're not weekend warriors kind of thing,
Yep.
potentially are better than some guys. It doesn't always translate from a huge field to a small field like that, in this and that. So I'm not saying that our guys aren't better. I'm just saying it's a specific game. It'll be very interesting to see who who could make the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So
different sport, man. It really is.
yeah, I'm telling
Is this
you,
it is this it right here?
this is not us. This is other teams. Yeah, yeah.
There's
Air it
Favre.
out. I got the video of it,
I don't know about that throwing motion.
dude.
ABC, Worldwide of Sports,
Yeah,
1998. Yeah, this has to be it. Yeah.
yeah.
This is great stuff,
If
man.
anybody ever wants it, it's air it out. Brett Favre, the NFL superstars, play big flag football game. I'm telling you, man, these dudes could play.
Nice.
it's it's wild.
It was honestly, as a kid, it was my first love, flag football, because we didn't have a Pop Warner league in our area yet.
Yeah, Jimmy
So
Smith, Aeneas Williams, me,
there's you. Yep.
Antonio Freeman,
Oh, Freeman. That's right.
Favre. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
get the
pretty
way
cool.
he's jogging. He's got like Air Force Ones on or jogging tennis shoes.
You just stroll out in the park.
Oh yeah, hats on, hats
Yeah.
backwards.
Lake Buena Vista,
Yeah.
Florida. Nice.
I know we're running a little long, but a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're just trying, extending it. We weren't going to talk about this, but we definitely want to congratulate you.
This is the stuff fans want, Wayne.
Yeah,
Do not get it twisted. I guarantee you.
no,
This is
just proud to watch it, proud to see
yeah.
it, and all that stuff. But like I said, as far as a trade today, we strung it out to a 40-minute show. We'll
Hey
break it
man.
up for you. But
Gotta
yeah,
do what we gotta
today,
do. We gotta do what we gotta do sometimes.
I'm not saying today is a great day in Jets history. It's not that. It's just a move that we wanted to break down for you so you could see why it was done,
The intent.
what it enables to do, and kind of what direction we're going to because of it. Moving on from Jermaine and uh, bringing in the big D tackle. like I said, now we know where we're going with the draft. Like I said, now we're kind of like working on quarterback, and we'll see what happens with these combine times.
Couldn't have said it better. I think, more versatility. They have a lot of holes to fill, but they got that big, you know, run stuffer two gapper. So Glenn could do what he wants as the defensive architect.
Yeah, like I said, like and subscribe. This is a good one. I know it's 40 minutes. There's a lot of info there. So give us our thoughts. Like you said, we'll put a mailbag in there.
Yeah.
And hopefully we have some more good stuff to talk about soon.
All right, Wayne. Catch you later, Jets fans. See you next time.